Thank you very much for providing me an opportunity to interact with people, like-minded people. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for the organizers for providing me an opportunity. Especially J. Babu, he has initiated and asked me to participate in this program, for which I extended my sincere thanks to him. So here you see that my topic is response surface methodology. I am Dr. K. Palanikumar, professor and principal. I am one of the top 2% scientists in materials in the world, compiled by Stanford University. Also top 1% reviewer in the world by Babylon Web of Science Group. Published more than 300 papers in journals and published many books and participated in the conference and organized the conference. Presently working as a professor and a principal at Sri Sai Ram Institute of Technology. So here you see that response surface methodology is one of the important method used in modeling and optimization. Mostly the response surface methodology is useful for prediction purpose. Suppose if you want to predict the result, then we are able to have the response methodology. So that we are able to predict the results by using the response surface methodology. Sometimes even we may also use response surface methodology for optimization. Even multiple performance optimization is possible by means of using response surface methodology. So the history, the learning objective of this program, the response surface methodology is its history, introduction to RSM, real life example, why and when use RSM, the experimental strategy, and also I am going to present a case study. So because I have some other meeting, I am willing to close the program at exactly 1:30. Please, you can have a comfortable stay here. So history, suppose if you are going to take the response surface methodology, it is one of the very important method used in statistics. Nowadays, the people are talking about R programming. The R programming is nothing but the improvement taking place by incorporating computerized method in using RSM. So the RSM data analysis is called as R programming method, most probably. So here you see that nowadays the people are talking about the data science and modeling, even big data analytics, many things. So when you are talking about these things like artificial intelligence, data science, and are related to that, the basic for everything is the RSM or the response surface methodology. How we are able to respond to the particular problem. Based on that, we have developed this response surface methodology. In the Mead and Pike paper, they move back the origin of RSM to include use of response curve dating back into the 1930s. Actually, the RSM they have used from the olden days onwards, but nowadays in many applications the people are using response surface method. Even you are using neural network and other method, this is the improved statistical analysis method using artificial intelligence. When you are talking about the response surface methodology, this is a normal basic statistical method used to correlate the input parameter with the response. Then in 1935, Yates, he has worked on it. In the Hill and Hunter review, they state that in November 1966, a paper on review of response surface methodology. So these are some of the literature used regarding the response surface method. And also a literature was published by Hill and Hunter. In December 1976, another paper, review of response from a biometric viewpoint, was published by Mead and Pike. With the passage of time, many statisticians work on RSM for improvement. So the response surface methodology is the improved method useful in statistics and analysis. It can applicable for any kind of problem. If you are taking the problem like mechanical problem or metallurgical results or computer science related problem or electronics related problem or whatever may be, wherever you can have the input parameter, if it is going to be related to the output parameter, you can apply the response surface method. The approximation and the curve fitting can be possible by means of using the response surface method. The response surface methodology uses various statistical, graphical, and mathematical techniques to develop, improve, or optimize a process. Also, it can be used for modeling and analysis of problem if our response variables is influenced by several independent variables. So when you are talking about this response surface methodology, it uses various statistical, graphical, and mathematical technique, and is used to develop, you see that it is used to develop, improve, and optimize a process. So using the response surface methodology, we are able to have many things. We are able to have the optimization, we are able to have the modeling, we are able to develop a process. Many things can be possible by means of using the response surface methodology. The main objectives are optimize. That is the main objective. Then we are able to develop, we are able to improve if necessary. If you are taking one product, then you are able to optimize the product. If you are able to optimize the product, then you are able to come to the conclusion that, suppose if you are going to do this product in this way, we are able to arrive the optimal solution. So using that optimal solution, we are able to develop. Finally, we are able to improve. Normally, when you are using the response surface methodology, this methodology has some limitations also. We are able to predict the result, or we are able to optimize the result only within the parameters considered and also within the levels considered. The level means, like, suppose if you are going to consider from 100 to 200, within the 100 to 200 only we are able to optimize. But the real optimization may be at some place, but the reality only we are not able to arrive through this optimization technique. So that is a main drawback. But it has many advantages. We are able to apply this concept to any kind of situations like manufacturing, computer science, electronic science, electrical science, or biomedical applications, even simple marketing applications in management side and many side, we are able to use this methodology. The real life example for the RSM is used in different fields of real life, like industries, agriculture, electronics, medical field, and many other like this. It is used where we want to get optimum response. Wherever you want to predict the process, and also if you want to arrive the optimum response, then we are in need of response surface method. So this is a method used in different fields of applications like industries, even in agriculture. Suppose if you are taking a paddy, we are going to have water, we are going to have manure, or we are going to have some other thing. Suppose if you are going to use 1% of manure, then what is happened? 2%, what is happened? 3%, what is happened? Suppose if you are pouring water, 1 liter of water, what is happened? 2 liter of water, what is happened? Like that, we are able to analyze and arrive the result for any kind of situation, whether it may be agriculture or it may be a medical field. Even in medical field, based on the pulse rate, pressure, and using other thing, we are able to predict the things by means of using RSM. Then now you may heard about the COVID situation, the COVID first wave, second wave, and the third wave. How the people are predicting? So in the third wave, it may goes like that. So the curve is like this. So these are followed easily by means of using response surface method. If we have a data, this data can be easily analyzed by means of using the response surface method. An example of medical field, a single tablet is introduced in market after large number of experiments. Suppose a company want to introduce a new painkiller tablet in market, the pharmacist will make the tablet that will be more effective and has rapid action to kill the pain. Will have low price at market for patient. So here, the people, they are able to compare with the previous result and they are able to arrive the result for the present situation using response surface method. So that the response surface method can be a very useful method used to arrive anything by making a model, or we are able to optimize the solutions. So here you see that why and when we use RSM. What is the use of RSM? Where we are going to use the RSM. So the first phase, we can have a discovery. Then second phase, we can have a breakthrough. The third phase, we can have optimization. And finally, in the fourth phase, we are going to have a validation. For the first phase, we are going to have IV fraction. In the second phase, we are having full factorial or related one. Then finally, we are optimizing it by means of using CCD or Box-Bengel design, etc. Finally, we are able to arrive the confirmation run. If you are going to see that when you are going to use your RSM, you must have known factor and unknown factor. Then you must have to screen the unknown factor. Then find out what are having more influence. So that is vital few. The trivial many may be applicable. So in that, you have to screen. Then you find out the vital factor. So using this vital factor, you must have to estimate effects and interactions. If there is no effects or if there is an interaction, then you can go for a curvature. If there is no interaction, then you can directly go for a model, then confirm it. If curvature exists, you can go for response surface method. Finally, you can have a confirmation result. If confirmation results are good, then you are able to implement the process. So this is the common structure of RSM. The first phase of the RSM is to identify the variable. If we are able to identify the variable properly, then definitely we are able to arrive the results very much easier. The experimental strategy. So here you see that the experimental design objective. Types of design are listed here according to the experimental objective they meet. We have a comparative objective. If you have one or several factors under investigation, but the primary goal of your experiment is to make a conclusion about a priority important factor, that is in the presence of and or in spite of the existence of the other factor, and the question of interest is whether or not the factor is significant. That is, whether or not there is a significant change in the response for different levels of that factor. So you must have to identify a experiment important factor so that you must arrive a comparative objective. Then you have a comparative problem and you need a comparative design solution. When you are taking the input variable and it must align with the output, then you have to compare, then find out the solution. Screening objective or nothing but the primary purpose of the experiment is to select or screen out the few important main effects from the many less important ones. These screening designs are also termed main effect design. So we are having the design. That design may be the main effect design. interactive design or square affinity design, or the combining of the first order model or second order model or the quadratic design. Like many designs we are using when we are going to formulate. So when you are going to formulate, you must set a objective. So the objective may be a comparative objective or it may be a screening objective. You must have to screen the objective. Then the third one, we are going to have a response surface objective. In the response surface objective, the experiment is designed to allow us to estimate interaction and even quadratic effects and therefore give us an idea of the shape of the response surface we are investigating. So in the response surface design, the experiment is designed to allow us to estimate the interaction and even quadratic effect. So the response surface methodology is not only meant for a straight one. It can be useful for the main effect, interaction effect, and even quadratic effect. The quadratic effect include the linear effect, the interaction effect, and the square effect. And therefore, it gives an idea of the shape of the response surface we are investigating. For this reason, they are termed response surface method design. RSM are used to find improved or optimal process settings. It is used to troubleshoot process problems and weak point. Using the optimal arriving of the result, using the analysis of variance, we are able to eliminate the unwanted factor. We are able to select only the significant factor. We are able to eliminate the unwanted factor. These are possible by using the RSM analysis so that the factors which are directly affecting the process can be easily identified by means of using the RSM. And also it is used to make a product or process more robust against external and non-controllable influences. Robust means relatively insensitive to these influences. So we are able to arrive the robust results by means of using this technique. Previously, the speaker, he talked about the Deguchi method. So if you are taking that method, the people are saying that that is a robust method. So the difference between the big and the robust is entirely different. If you are taking elephant, the elephant is a big and the rhinoceros is a robust element. So in this situation, the robust is very, very important rather than big. So this robust results can be arrived by means of using response surface methodology. Optimizing responses when factors are proportion of a mixer objective. If you have factors that are proportions of a mixer and you want to know what the best proportions of the factors as so as to maximize a response, then you need a mixer design. When you are needing the different kind of design. So these kind of designs can be arrived according to the requirement, according to the process considered, and according to your industrial applications and objective. Optimal fitting of a regression model objective. Optimal fitting of regression model also very, very important. If you want to model a response as a mathematical function, either known or empirical of a few continuous factors, and you desire good model parameter estimate that is unbiased and a minimum variance, then you need a regression design. So the regression design is very, very important in model fitting of response surface method. Using this regression model objective, we are able to arrive the optimal solutions. Here you see that experimental strategy for the RSM design is analysis of the results revealed no evidence of pure quadratic curvature in the response of interest. That is, the response at the center approximately equal the average of the response at the factorial run. The design matrix originally used included the limits of the factor settings available to run the process. So these are the basic experimental strategy required for the RSM. In other circumstances, a complete description of the process behavior might require a quadratic or cubic model. Here you see that many of the researchers and many of the people, they are using only up to 2 quadratic model. Apart from the quadratic model, if the process is very, very complicated, then even you can go for a cubic model. When you are talking about the quadratic model, it consists of linear effect, that is x1, x2, and x3. Here, the beta 1, beta 2, beta 0, it indicates the coefficients. x1, x2, and x3 indicates the variable. When you are talking about the linear effect, then we are going to have beta 1 x1 plus beta 2 x2 plus beta 3 x3. When you are considering the other effect, that is interaction, then you can go for x1 x2, x1 x3, then x2 x3. So this is called linear effect. Apart from that, we are going to have B11, means the square effect, x1 square, x2 square, and x3 square. So these are possible by means of using this quadratic model. Apart from the quadratic, we are able to include cubic also. Here, apart from the quadratic model, we are going to add some more thing here. So the model is a cubic model. These are the full models with all possible terms. Rarely would all of the terms be needed in an application. When you are taking the application, the application point of view that is influenced by only related main variable. We are not going to consider many of the unrelated variables. So like when you are taking the machining equipment, when you are turning, then we are going to have vibration and other things. Normally, these are not considered. The people are considering the main effect such as speed, feed, and so on like that. So like here wise, if you are going to consider all those variables, then you can go for a cubic model. Otherwise, you can go only for a quadratic model. So the quadratic model gives more than the enough result. So this is the sequential nature of response surface method. So here you see that, so the curvatures are going on. So using this method, we are able to arrive current operation condition to the optimal condition. So current operation condition is within the limit of 60 to 70. But when you are considering the optimum solution, it reaches to 85, 90. So this is the path of improvement. So this path of improvement can be easily possible by means of using response service method. So the region of operability for the process can be possible by means of using a RSM. So the contours of constant responses is provided here in this sequential nature of RSM. RSM is a sequential procedure. Often, we are at a point on the response surface that is remote from the optimum. And we want to move rapidly from current point to the optimum point with the sequence. So that is the previous figure explained. If we are able to move from the current to the optimum, then we are able to arrive the result. If we want the optimum point where the sources are minimum, but output is maximum, then that is called our optimum point. And we move rapidly toward it, so that we are able to achieve the optimum point by moving rapidly by using RSM. There are two methods of RSM to obtain optimum response. and we move toward our optimum point with these two methods. Maybe a method of steepest that is called ascent and a method of steepest that is called descent method. So here, see that this is a procedure for steepest ascent is nothing but procedure for moving sequentially in the direction of the maximum increase in the response, getting optimum response. Wherever you want to achieve the high rate, then you can go for a maximum increase. But if you want to achieve, say, if medical ability required for a COVID situation, it required maximum so that you can take steepest ascent method. But infection rate, we want to reduce it so that you must have to take steepest descent method so that the minimization can be possible. We are able to optimize the multiple performances by means of using response surface method using desirability. Here, the desirability means we are able to use any kind of response, but each response has its own requirement. Some of the response is to be maximized and some of the response is to be minimized. So according to the requirement, we must have to select the response so that if you want to maximize, then you can go for a ascent method. If you want to minimize, then you can go for a method of steepest descent. In the ascent method, the initial estimate of the optimum operation condition for this will be far from the actual optimum. In such circumstances, the objective of the experimenter is to move rapidly to the general vicinity or the nearest point of the optimum solution. We wish to use a simple and economically efficient experimental procedure when we remote from the optimum. We usually assume that a first order model is an adequate approximation to the true surface in a small region of the X. Suppose if you want to conduct a initial experiment, you can go for a first order model only consisting of X1, X2 or X3. Based on that, you must have to select. Then complication and the complicated model, you can go for interaction effect and square effect. So in the steepest ascent method, procedure for moving sequentially in the direction of the maximum increase in the response, getting the optimum response. Here you see that this figure indicates gradually we are arriving the contour graph. Using this contour graph, if you want to arrive the maximum, sequentially you must have to move from one direction to other direction. So that is the path of steepest ascent. So that the arrow mark indicate how the steepest ascent increases with respect to the requirement. The steepest descent method. If minimization is desired, then we call this technique the method of steepest descent. Whenever the minimization is required, then we can go for a steepest descent method. We should not have a ascent method. It is better to have a steepest descent method. If the experimenter has defined factor limits appropriately and are taken advantage of all the tools available in multiple regression analysis, then finding an industrial process that requires a third order model is kindly unusual. Therefore, we only focus on design that are useful for fitting quadratic model. As we will see, these design often provide lack of fit deduction that will help determine when a higher order model is needed. So we must have to arrive and find out where the higher order model is required, where the lower order model is required. If you fully know about the process and if you are finding that increasing of variable is going to increase or the increasing in variable is going to decrease. In this situation, direct proportion is there, where then you can take a linear model. If the curvature occur, then only we can go for a quadratic model consisting of all the factors. The application of response surface methodology are the most frequent applications of RSM are in the industrial area. The people are using RSM in industrial area. Most of the industries, they are using statistical method like response surface methodology to analyze the process. If it is a steel making industry, or if it is a tablet making industry, or it may be any kind of industry. Suppose if you are taking the software companies like Infosys, TCS, or CTS, they have a separate division that is called data analysis division. In this data analysis division, they are recruiting statisticians. So those who are knowing about the response surface method or programming method and the related method. So nowadays, the people are analyzing the big data, that is large quantity of data. This large quantity of data also can be analyzed by means of using curve fitting method, using RSM. It is an important in designing, formulating, and developing and analyzing new specific scientific studying and product. When the people are able to initiate the process and if they are able to produce a new product, so then they must have to analyze in which way we are able to manufacture the product. What are the different conditions required? How the variables are to be controlled? What is the minimum limit of the variable? Or what is the maximum limit of the variable? Everything can be easily analyzed by means of using response surface method. So that it is an important method used in designing, formulating, and developing, also analyzing new specific scientific studying and product. So that this is a very good method useful for designing, formulating, developing, also analyzing the specific scientific processes and also for making the product. It is also efficient in improvements of existing studies and product. Whenever you want to improve the existing studies and the product, then you can go for a RSM. Most common application of RSM are in industrial, biological, and clinical sciences, social sciences, food sciences, and physical and engineering sciences. We cannot leave this method in any kind of situation. It can be used in industrial, biological, clinical, social, food science, physical science, and engineering science. So in all the field, the people are applying RSM method. When you are seeing the different journal, even if you are seeing the chemical engineering journal, you are able to find out RSM. When you are seeing the computer journal, you are able to see RSM. If you are seeing electronics journal, you are able to see RSM. So that any kind of situations, we are able to use this RSM. This find industrial applications so that we are able to apply very much easily when compared to the tedious optimization and modeling process. Most probably, using this RSM, even we are able to make direct model. Using that direct models, you are able to analyze the process very much easier. So here you see that when you are going to apply the RSM, the first requirement is design of experiment. You must have to design the experiment for the particular application. So this is very, very important and a need for the hour. When you are going to apply response surface methodology to your process, then you must go for a design of experiment. In the current industrial situation, quality improvement is the primary goal. Nowadays, many methods are evolved to improve the quality of the product and its productivity. When you want to improve the quality of the product, and its productivity, definitely you can go for design of experiment. Design of experiment is one of the powerful cost-effective method used to predict, illustrate, and enhances the behavior of any manufacturing process. So this can be useful for any manufacturing process used to predict, illustrate, and enhance the behavior. It has a wide application in the development of new process, and it helps in solving many engineering problems by applying certain principles and techniques to ensure accurate, feasible, and sustainable conclusions. For applying and arriving the sustainable conclusions, we are able to adopt the response surface method. Then the number of experiment is fixed by Taguchi's orthogonal array or design of experiment, two-factor design, three-factor design, or any design. So we are able to apply this. So here, for example, we have used Taguchi orthogonal array. This method is extremely used in the experimental investigations. So here you see that. So for example, how to apply the RSM, response surface method. So the Taguchi's L27 orthogonal array shown in table is selected. Based on the number of control factor and their levels for the drilling of sandwich laminates with two different drill bit material, vice solid carbide and titanium AL uncoated solid carbide drill. So here we have taken three parameter D, N, and Df. The D is nothing but drill diameter, N is nothing but RPM, F is nothing but feed. So the coded values and the actual values are provided. Here we have taken L27 orthogonal array, which is used in Taguchi measurement. Or you can use any method. Box-Bengel design is there. 2 power k factorial design is there. Like any kind of design you may select. If you are able to select the proper design, then you are able to reduce the number of experiments. So, but also the people are using one time changing the experiment. It means they are going to keep two variables as constant. One variable is they are going to change. Then another two variables are constant. Then another one variable they are going to change. So accordingly also they are going to have, that is called as one time changing experiment. So that experiments are needing more number of experimental requirement. So to reduce the number of experiment, so Taguchi and other method, they have arrived the conclusions that if you are going to follow the particular route, then you are able to reduce the number of experiment. Within the minimal number of experiments, you are able to obtain the proper solutions. So that we are going to use the design of experiment. So here we have used L27 orthogonal array from Taguchi method. Even you can use Box-Bengel method, or you can use 2k factorial or any other factorial design which can be used to arrive the result. That is better. So this is the experimental setup we have used for conducting the experiment. So the CNC machine is used. Then we can have a charge amplifier for getting the thrust force and the torque result. And also we have analyzed the typical drilled hole on sandwich laminate. So this is the experimental setup used for conducting the experiment. So this is a PhD work. One of my candidates completed her PhD in the field of drilling of sandwich material. So they have selected the sandwich material like fiber layer and aluminum layer. One side they can have a fiber, middle aluminum, then fiber, then aluminum. So this is a sandwich. So this material is selected for drilling. Then the drilled holes are available. So here when you are talking about the drilled hole, the delamination which occurred in the drilled hole is very, very important. So it is going to be reduced. So the delamination is taken as one factor. So when you are going to conduct the experiment, the observations are very, very important. When you are identifying the different factors, like I have identified speed, feed, and depth of cut. Or for drilling process, we have identified drill diameter, speed, and feed. So here, the identification of input parameter is very, very important. The input parameters can be identified by means of using a brainstorming session. You must discuss with the fellow researcher, and you must have to see many literature. Then you must have to identify the factors which are highly influencing process. These factors are going to be considered as input parameter. Using this input parameter, if you are going to change the input parameter, what are the changes that are taking place in that? That is to be analyzed. So this can be analyzed by means of using the output response observation. So the number one response we have observed is a thrust force. The different regions of variation in thrust force obtained for the drilling of sandwich composites are the tool entry, which indicate the minimum thrust force in drilling, while the drill propagation takes place and the thrust force increases proportionately. The first layer has a metal laminate in which the thrust force increases abruptly and it reaches to the maximum. So these are the analyses that are required for the thrust force. If you are taking particular response, you must have a justification for the response, why you are using that particular response for the analysis. Here we have taken thrust force. So the thrust force is the most influencing output response. The increase of thrust force increases the surface roughness, increases the delamination, hole quality, everything. So that we have selected thrust force. So for selecting the proper response, for selecting the proper variable, you are in need of brainstorming session. Using the brainstorming session only, you are able to arrive the variables and responses. Another one is torque. Torque is also a force that it tends to rotate an object about an axis by causing it to twist. The twisting is the effect caused by the applying torque. So the first observation we have taken is thrust force. That is a very, very important requirement. Torque, this is also directly related to the force, and it is because of the rotation we are able to get the torque. So this is another one important observation that is required for analyzing this process. And the third one is the surface. When you are going to drill, how the surface is achieved, that is very, very important. If the surface is very, very rough, then we are not able to arrive the result. So that arriving of better surface roughness is very much needed. For that, the measurement of surface roughness is required. Then we are going to have another one, that is the delamination factor. When we are talking about any composite material, delamination factor is very, very important, which affect the whole quality. And it has been measured by means of using video measuring system to measure diameter. Then we have taken delamination factor by analyzing this. So this is the maximum to what is the hole diameter. So that is df, d max by d, maximum diameter to the d. It gives the delamination factor. So we have arrived the responses so that conducted the experiment by varying the d, n and df, namely drill diameter, speed and feed. We have conducted the experiment and captured the response using different measuring device. So this is the experimental results for thrust force and torque obtained by conducting the experiment. So this is the experimental results of surface roughness and delamination factor arrived. Then we can go for a response surface method. We have identified the input parameter. Also, we have identified the responses. Now, we must go for a response surface methodology. So, we must have to equate the input parameter to the output parameter. In this present investigation, the response surface methodology is used for modeling. It is a tool for examining the numerical association among several input and response variables. So here we have applied RSM for modeling or prediction. Even we are able to arrive the optimal results by means of using RSM. The empirical equations for the generated response during the drilling of sandwich laminates of aluminum and glass fiber are developed by using a software design expert. So many softwares are available like SPSS. Even you can analyze it on your own by using number of table. That is a very tedious process. Instead, we can go for a statistical analysis by using either Minitab or Design Expert or SPSS or many statis or many kind of analysis softwares are available. You must choose wisely for the better software. Then you have to analyze. So here, the objectives of the RSM are to find the functional relationship between the input and output parameter, to determine the outcome on deviations in the level of factors on response, to thoroughly understand the behavior of overall system over the verified range. Also to determine the optimum conditions and to produce the desired output. To find the optimal response value resourcefully and rapidly. For which we have used the response surface methodology. It consists of the steps like deciding the impact input and output variable. Then you perform design of experiment, or you have to select proper design of experiment. Here we have used L27 orthogonal array, conducting the drilling experiment and measuring the response. Then you perform, then that is called regression analysis. Then perform analysis of the variance. Then you can go for the check the validity of model. If the model validity is good, then you can go for confirming the design, then finalize the result. Otherwise, again, you go to the second step, then you must follow the steps and complete the process. So this is the requirement for the response surface methodology. So we must have to conduct the experiment systematically. That is very, very important for response surface methodology. So here you see that when you are using the response surface methodology, ANOVA, the people, they may know about ANOVA. So everywhere the people are using ANOVA. So previously it has been discussed. Because of that, I am not going to discuss fully. ANOVA is the method used to analyze the significant parameter. You are using different variable. Whether this variable is going to influence the process or not, that can be analyzed by means of using analysis of variance. If the analysis of variance is result is better, then the model will be better. Suppose if you are going to see that, so we have selected different drill bit. The model summary statistics for thrust force and the summary statistics for torque are given here. So here you see that we have used a linear model or two-factor interaction model or quadratic model. If we have considered a linear model, the R-squared value for the first one is 0.9063. If you are using two-factor interaction, then the R-squared value is 0.95. and the quadratic model, it is 0.98. The R squared value is nothing but coefficient of correlation. So the coefficient of correlation is very, very important. It is only going to correlate the result between the whatever may be the input to the output. That is the efficiency. Like the statistical model efficiency can be arrived by means of using coefficient of correlation. The maximum value for the coefficient of correlation is 1. If the value is very close to 1, then the model will be better. In this case, first case, if you are going to see that if you are using the UDGFAL sandwich laminate, the linear model is 0.9063, two-factor interaction is 0.95, and the quadratic is 0.98. From that, we have come to the conclusion that the quadratic models are giving better results than the other model considered. Why? Because in linear model, it consider only the effect of direct effect of x1, x2, and x3. In two-factor interaction, the interaction between the parameter x1, x2, x1, x3, and x2, x3 can be possible by two-factor interaction. In quadratic model, apart from the linear, the square effect of x1 squared, x2 squared, and x3 squared also considered, so that the quadratic model gives better results in almost all the cases. Here, they have used three different material. So material 1, material 2, material 3 for uncoated solid carbide drill, and material 1, material 2, material 3 for TIAL uncoated solid carbide tool. Similarly, for torque uncoated solid carbide drill and TIAL uncoated solid carbide drill. From these, all those things, if you are able to see, the results are better only for the quadratic model. Even here, you see that surface roughness, delamination factor. Everywhere, the results are better only for the quadratic model. So this is the arrived model using the Design Expert software. We have arrived model for thrust force using UDGFAL sandwich laminate, WRGFAL sandwich laminate, CSGFAL sandwich laminate, unidirectional wound roving, and CS. So like different material they have used. So the thrust force models are developed. The numerical relations or numerical models can easily we can establish by means of using the response surface method. If you are going to input the results of the variable, accordingly we are able to get the result. So this is the uniqueness of using the response surface method. In other method, just we are able to analyze the result. Here, you are able to predict the results easily. If you are going to give the input parameter, whatever may be speed, feed, depth of cut, whatever may be, using this relation, you are able to find the thrust force, you are able to find the torque, you are able to find surface roughness, you are able to find delamination factor. So those things can be easily arrived by means of using this response surface equation. Even you can calculate and arrive the results by means of using least square or other method. So that methods are very tedious. It is better that you must have to use a software, then you can go for a response surface analysis, so that we are able to arrive the equations. Using these equations, we are able to arrive and analyze the results very easily. So this is the summary of model. So here you see that in the summary of model, if you are taking the thrust force, now we have taken significant factors, means total we have taken 9 factors. It means D, N, F. These are the 3 factors: drill, diameter, speed, and feed. Apart from that, we can have a interaction dn, df, nf. Also, we can have square effect f d squared, n squared, f squared. Suppose if we are going to see the model for the first one, the f value and the press value are provided here. Here you see that d, n, f, f squared, d squared, and df. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Only out of 9 factors we have considered, only 6 factors influence the process. So these are the significant factors which influence the process, so that we are able to analyze the process very much easy when on the same time when you are going to take the third one, you see that only 5 factors like D, F, N, Dn and Nf are influencing. So these are the significant factor, all the conditions. What are the factors which affect the process is given here. The square effect means the same drill diameter is having more influence. The combination of f and n or d, here you see that in the first case df, the second case dn and nf, the third case dn and dnf. So the combination of two different parameters also influencing the process. This has been analyzed by means of using analysis of variance. In the ANOVA, you are able to see whether the factors are significant or not significant. So the significant factors are going to be considered. Even if you want to reframe the model, you can consider only this significant parameter, so that we are able to deduce the model and we are able to deduce the influential parameter. This can be possible by means of using analysis. So the analysis of variance by finding sum of square, mean square, f value, we are able to see, and we are able to see the influence between the different parameters. This is the summary of model for surface roughness. Then summary of model for delamination factor. And here you see that, so this is the, here you see that when we are going to do a research and when we are going to show the results to the people in an industry or elsewhere, showing the results and analyzing of the result is very, very important. How we are able to provide the solutions and how we are able to display in a proper way, that is very, very important. So this can be arrived by means of using actual versus predicted plot. So this is the whatever may be the actual results obtained and whatever may be the predicted result obtained for the different responses are analyzed by using this actual and predicted. So here you see that in all the cases except like 1 or 2 cases, we are able to see all are fit into the straight line, which shows that the actual and the predicted results are very close to each other, so that we are able to say that whatever the model we have predicted is correct. Whether you are making a model, after that you are going to arrive the results, how your model is correct, whether your model is correct or not, whether it is having wrong potentials, or if your model is not good, how you are able to analyze. Then you have to fit actual versus predicted. Actual is the parameters and the responses we have got from the experimental results. The predicted is nothing but we are making the model. You have to fit in the model by using the variable. If you are giving the input parameter to the model, then automatically it gives the output response. So the relation between these two is to be established. Then this is called as actual versus predicted model. This is for surface roughness. So even here also we are able to find straight line relation, delamination factor. We are able to have the straight line prediction, so that the model fit using the processes accurate, and the R squared value also indicate all the models are having more than 90% fit, so that the models developed by response surface method is very useful and is used to analyze the results very much easier. So this is the results under discussion, actually not related to your model, just I have shown. So this is the tensile behavior, flexural behavior, and analysis of mechanical properties for this material, impact strength. This is the whole quality uptime. If you are going to relate the results with the RSM model, after going to see the whole quality, you are able to say that whichever is very good. If you are conducting the experiment in the optimal result, then you are able to arrive the optimal solution. So here this is called as response graph. This is another one important analysis which comes under response surface method. In response surface method, we are analyzing the variable by means of using 3D response graph. Here, this is the 3-dimensional response graph. This is developed from RSM. So that this is called response graph. Suppose if you are going to give only the input parameter and the output parameter, you are not able to fit the graph properly. But after making the model, you are able to have the 3-dimensional graph. The 3-dimensional graph is shown in figure. Here you see that when you are drawing this 3-dimensional graph, you have to keep one parameter as constant and the other parameter are to be varied. When you are going to vary one and another, you are going to keep the third one as a constant, then what is the response? You see that continuously you have to make a model for 3 different conditions. Say x1, x2, x2, x3, then x1, x3. So that we are able to have 3 different response graph. Each material, we have used first material, second material, and the third material. Each material, we have developed a response graph. These response graphs are used to analyze how the particular response is growing. Then if you are going to take this, so this is increasing with increase. And another one, this is going like that. So that from that, whatever the variable you are going to change, what is the output? This can be easily related by means of using this 3D response graph. Even you are able to see the interaction between the different parameter by means of using this response graph. If you are able to find a curvature in the curve of the response graph, then you can say that there is a strong interaction that exists between the parameter. If there is a no curvature, if the developed graph is in a straight line, then you can say that there is no interaction between the 2 different parameters. So the parameter interaction is very, very essential. How to arrive this, how to do, so this is very, very essential. This can be done by means of using 3D response graph. So this is for thrust force in drilling sandwich panel using uncoated solid carbide drill. So the researchers, those who are willing to do research on different, and if they are going to apply a statistical method for their analysis, definitely they must have to use this kind of graph for explanation, so that the paper acceptance also very easy when compared to normal practice. Even in here in our universities like Anna University, when you are conducting the experiments and arriving the results on PhD, definitely you must have to conduct or you have to do any kind of model for submission of the thesis. The model may be a numerical model or it may be a statistical model. When compared to the numerical model using FEM, the statistical models are very efficient, and we are able to make it very easier. We are able to see the results very easier in this when compared to the finite element and other related method. Even though the people are using finite element method for analyzing, so this is entirely different domain. We are able to analyze the results by means of using statistical analysis. Analysis by using statistics is very, very important. So, and not only the analyzing, presentation of result is very, very important. The results presentation can be easily possible by means of using this response graph. So this is in 3 dimension, so that this is called as 3-dimensional response graph. This is for another drill. This is for analyzing the torque. So here you see that here this is a straight line. In this condition, if you are going to say that, we are able to say that, so the interaction between the parameters are somewhat very limited. But here you see that the third CSG FAL, so there is a curvature exists. Because of that, we are able to say that the strong interaction is arrived in between the result. So the results prediction and analysis and discussion can be useful, easily done by means of using 3-dimensional response graph. So this is for another material. So even here you see that, so in this condition, we are not able to arrive proper interaction, but here we are able to have some interaction. This is for another one material for surface roughness, and this is for delamination factor. So that for all the results, we are able to analyze by means of using response graph. Even we are able to arrive the optimal domain by means of using this graph. Using a contour graph is another one graph. Using that contour, we are able to see how the variations are taking place when we are going to change the different variable. So this is using TIALN, coated solid carbide drill, and this is the analysis of results using some drilled hole at optimal solution. So that the response surface methodology is one of the, so because this topic is very, very important, we can have another half an hour question and answer session, so that your questions are answered. And even if you want to make some model for your things, then we can send it to us, so that we are able to make the model using the software. So we are able to arrive the results very much easier. So here you see that the response surface methodology is very, very important method, and using that we are able to develop model. We are not only able to develop model, we are able to arrive the optimal result. The people, they may ask you how we are able to arrive the optimal result. The optimal results may be arrived from the graphs. Suppose if you are going to see that, if you want to maximize, then you can say that wherever the curve go to the maximum limit, at that maximum limit, what is the variation that it takes place in the speed or feed, that is going to be considered. So accordingly, if you are going to select a minimum one, wherever the point it reaches to the minimum. Suppose if you are going to see this graph, so here the very minimum value is here, so that you have to see where it is connected to the speed or where it is connected to the feed using this curve. Then accordingly, you can say that at this particular place, we are able to have the optimal result. So using the response surface method, we are able to have proper results by means of using different analysis. So the response surface methodology, previously I have explained about the response surface methodology. Here you see that when you are going to talk about the response surface methodology, So you must have to take this as very, very important. Why and when we must have to use RSM? What is the necessity of using response surface method, and why and when we use RSM? And if you are conducting the experiments properly, if you are going to select proper response variable, and if you are going to select proper output response, and if you are going to select proper condition, working condition and everything, then we must have to decide in different phases. The phase one is the discovery, breakthrough, optimization, validation. Using all those things, we must have to consider and we must have to explain those things. So this is very, very important. So the discovery, breakthrough, optimization, and validation. So these are the different processes required. Using the different tool we are able to have. So even you can use fraction method or full factorial, or you can use CCD or Box-Munson design, or finally you can have a confirmation run. So here you see that you have arrived the optimal result, or you have conducted the experiment by means of using RSM. Once you have conducted the experiment and you have established the model, after that you must have to arrive whether the developed model is correct or not. How you are able to arrive the developed model is correct or not. So this can be confirmed by means of using the confirmation experiment. After arriving the optimal solution, you can go for a confirmation experiment. Using that confirmation experiment, you have to conduct that confirmation experiment at optimal condition. If the optimal condition results are coinciding with the results that obtained previously within the limit, then we are able to arrive the results properly. The main drawback of using this response surface method is the level. Whatever level you have considered, you are able to arrive the results only within the level considered. If you are going to conduct more level, or if you are going to conduct experiments beyond the level, the RSM will not give the result. So this is the drawback of this one. So that in industry, the people, what they are doing is they are going to conduct many experiments, then they are going to find out the level. After finding the proper level, they are going to conduct the experiment and they are going to arrive the result. So this is very, very important. Conducting the experiment within the particular limit is not enough. We must have to arrive and analysis which limit is preferred, how we are going to fix up the limit, how these limits are performing, whether these limits are giving better result. These are analyzed properly, so that only we are able to arrive the results. Otherwise, the arriving of result is very, very difficult by using response surface method. So the proper selection of variable, proper selection of response also very, very important. If we are selecting the unwanted response, we are not able to arrive the approximation or mathematical relation or prediction model. So that is very, very important. So the RSM is useful for making our prediction model. Also, we are able to predict the result within the limits considered. Using the response surface method with desirability analysis. So here we have used 4 different output responses like thrust force, torque, response surface roughness, and delamination factor. If you want to find out the result for all the 4 combined output responses, that is called as multiple performance optimization. This multiple performance optimization also possible by means of using the response surface method. So the response surface using the desirability analysis. The desirability means which is desired. Maximum is desired or the minimum is desired. Suppose if you are taking the machining process, material removal rate is the higher one is required. Higher material removal rate improve the quality, the cost reduction. On the other hand, the surface roughness must be within the limit. So that accordingly, we must have to select the proper. If you are able to reduce the roughness, then we are able to improve the product quality. So accordingly, you have to select which maximization is required, which minimization is required. So based on the maximization and the minimization, we are able to optimize the result even using multiple performance optimization. So using this response surface method, instead of going for a manual analysis, many softwares are available. You can go for this. So if you are going for Minitab or Design Expert software, you are able to analyze the result very much easily, so that we are able to obtain interaction graph, 3-dimensional graph, and also we are able to have the main effect plot. So we are able to get 3 different kind of plot: main effect plot, interaction plot, and a 3D response graph. So apart from that, we are able to get contour graph. These are the different graphs which are available through the software, so that the analysis of the process can be easily done by means of using this RSM. So that the use of RSM is a very effective method in research, not only in the research, even in the industrial processes, the people are using RSM. So the statistical analysis is required everywhere to analyze a product. Even if you are taking your class, 60 students are in the class. If you want to analyze the quality of the students' performance in your class, you can analyze it very much easier by means of using a RSM. The students' performance or the student results or students' marks can be fit by means of using curve fitting. Then you can analyze this very much easier. You are able to arrive a curve. Using that, you are able to predict the student performance very much easily. So any kind of situation, we are able to use the response surface method. So the response surface method is one of the important method used in many situations, in many industries. Already I have told you that this is used in many kind of situation, day-to-day situation in many industries, many people, many things they are using. So that the response surface methodology is one of the very useful technique which is used in industries. So in all the research, like mechanical, electrical, electronics, computer science, or elsewhere, we are able to use the response surface methodology, and we are able to analyze the results very much easier. If you have any questions regarding this response surface method, you can contact me through palanikumar@sairamit.edu.in. Through this email, if you are able to contact, then we are able to help you. Not only in the response surface method, even other method of optimization and other thing, we are able to help through mail. So you can contact me through palanikumar@sairamit.edu.in, SAIRAMIT.edu.in. So another half an hour, I am leaving you for question sessions. Please, you can have your questions, so that your questions will be answered related to that. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you.
So the first question is from Mr. K. Kandaswamy Jaya.
Okay.
Sir, is there any exact difference between Taguchi method and RSM method, result analysis part?
No.
Yes, sir.
So Taguchi is a method for conducting the experiment. The Daguchi method is used to limit the number of experiments. When you are conducting the experiment, it is not necessary to conduct 1000 number, 2000 number, or 3000 number. So to minimize the experiment, so that is called as robust design. The design of experiment is Daguchi technique. The Daguchi technique is used to do only analysis. But RSM is nothing but this is called response surface methodology. How the response is surfaced when you are going to conduct the experiment, whether you are using the Daguchi method, or you are using Box-Bengel design, or you are using 2 power k factorial design, or any kind of factorial design. You can conduct the experiment by using this kind of factorial design. Then you can analyze it by means of using RSM, so that you are able to arrive the result. Suppose if you are conducting the experiment through Daguchi method, you are able to analyze only the main effect and interaction effect. Then what about the square effect, or what is a linear curve fitting, or interaction curve fitting, or curve nature? This cannot be arrived by means of using Daguchi. We are able to arrive the equations by using the coefficient by means of using response surface method. So that the response surface method is entirely different. Daguchi method is entirely different. Even if you conducted the experiment using Daguchi method, you can analyze the results by means of using RSM, and you are able to analyze and obtain the optimum solution. Even using Daguchi method also, you are able to arrive the optimum solution. Here also you are able to arrive the optimal solution. And also in conducting the experiment, according to the ascent or descent, we are able to move from normal solution to the optimal solution. That can be easily possible by means of using RSM. It is a method or analysis.
Sir, the next question is from Ms. Lakshmi Kala. Difference between actual and predicted models.
Actual model, whatever the experiments you have conducted by means of using different devices, then we are able to obtain the result. Surface roughness, you are able to obtain the result by using surface roughness meter. Thrust force, you are able to obtain the result by means of using dynamometer. So like we are able to get the input result. So this is the actual. Predicted means using this input and equating to the output, we are making a model. Using that model, we are able to predict. So that is a predicted result. Always we are not able to predict to the 100%. So there may be some difference. So that can be indicated by R squared value or coefficient of correlation. Using that coefficient of correlation, we are able to analyze the result. So the conducted experiment result is the actual. Whatever you have predicted by means of using response surface model or regression model is the predicted. So the difference between these two is the error.
So the next question is from Ms. Veera Jyoti. Sir, whether the orthogonal array, that is number of experiments, was varied for Taguchi and RSM?
No, again I am telling you, the way of conducting the experiments can be by Daguchi method or any experimental design method. If you are going to analyze or if you are going to predict the results, then you can apply response surface method. Even response analysis can be easily possible by means of using this method. So Daguchi method is directly arriving the result and obtaining the optimum. But here we are able to make a model using regression. Using that model, we are able to analyze the results easy. So here we are applying a pure statistical method for making a prediction model. Using that prediction model, even we are able to arrive the optimal results. When you are going to compare the optimal results of Daguchi and RSM, almost the same.
So the next question is from Mr. Vivek Narnaware. Can we use RSM in supply chain management or risk management?
Any management, wherever you can have a input parameter and output response, wherever the relations are existing, definitely we are able to use this method. Any kind of situation in the world, we are able to use the RSM method. Only thing is the input parameter is required. That should be equated to the output parameter. So that is the main requirement. If you have main variable and it is going to be related to the output responses, definitely you are able to apply to the supply chain and related processes.
The next question is from Mr. Subbareddy. How difficult it is to find interaction effect of more than 3 variables?
No, more than 3 variables also we can have 5-factor experiments, 6-factor experiments, 7-factor experiments. So if you are going to increase the number of variable, then it goes like x1, x2, x1, x3, x1, x4, x1, x5, then x2, x3, x2, x4, x2, x5, like that. So that if you are going to increase the number of variable, the interaction effect also easily possible. Even in L27, if you are even you can use 5 variable. Up to 13 variable you are able to use in that. So you have to wisely choose the design of experiment and array, so that if you are conducting the experiments wisely by considering more number of variable, we are able to have the interaction effect. The number of variable is not in question. How we are going to conduct the experiment, how we are going to arrive the results, that is important. This can be arrived by means of using this RS.
So the next question is from Ms. Lakshmi Kala. Sandwich composites and laminated composites are both same or not?
No. Laminated is nothing but if you are going to make a composite by means of using glass fiber reinforced composite or carbon fiber reinforced composite or some other composite, that is a laminated. If you are going to keep the metal in between 2 laminated sheet, then it is called as sandwich. So suppose if you are taking a bread in between 2 leaf, we are going to insert tomato, brinjal, anything like that. So that is called a sandwich. So the same thing here, 2 different materials here we are using. One is laminate and another one is here we have used aluminum. So that this is aluminum sandwich laminate.
Sir, next question is from Ms. Lakshmi Kala. If 4 factors and 3 labels are there, then which is better, either BBD or Taguchi?
You can either you can use Taguchi or you can go for PBD. That is not a problem. PBD with 30 experiments gives better result. Even you can use the Taguchi also. That is not a problem.
So next question is from Mr. Lakshmi Narayana. Is RSM analysis is used to validate the DOE, or we can use Cplex or Lingo tools to validate?
DOE is the way of conducting the experiment. Prediction model and optimization can be possible by means of using RSM. So the validation and other thing, that question will not come here. So the DOE is the way of conducting the experiment, that is called as design of experiment. The experiment is going to be designed and RSM is going to analyze. It may be a Taguchi design, or it may be a Box-Bungay design, or it may be a 2 power k design, or it may be a 3 power k design, whatever may be the design. This design has to be analyzed and is carried out by means of using RSM.
So next question is from Mr. Subbareddy. How do we visualize the interaction graphs for 3 or more than 3 variables?
No, any variable you are able to arrive the interaction graph. So here I have used 3 graph because 3 variable AB, AC, BC, like that. If you are using A, B, C, D, then you are going to have AB, AC, AD, BC, BD, like more graph will come. So instead of 3 graphs, you can have 5 graphs. Huh?
Sir, actually, for interaction of two variables, we will be taking three axes, x, y, z, and one will keep it constant. Suppose if interaction is there for three or more than three variables at a time, can we visualize those
No,
plots, sir?
it
Is
cannot
it
be possible. Only we are able to analyze at a time two variables. Actually, in 3D response graph, one is for response, another two coordinate for variable. 3 or no, 4 or 5, it is not possible. Suppose if you are using 4 variable, another 2 variable you have to keep constant.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But visualization is difficult, sir. If there is an interaction for more than 3 variables.
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. So this method can be useful for any kind of situation. So the teachers, those who are working in any field, they can conduct the experiment and they are able to analyze the result. One of my colleagues in my institution, she has used cloud computing. Even for cloud computing application, they have used RSM. How the cloud speed and other thing can be possible. For that, they have equated 3 different variable and the output response is the cloud performance, cloud speed, like that. So they are able to relate it by means of using the response surface method. So the response surface method is very much a useful method for not only in the mechanical or related situation, it can be useful for even in computer science, data analysis, and many things. So nowadays people are using R programming. So this is the extension of response surface method. So in R programming also, they are making the approximation, equations, and other thing. So the application field for RSM is very, very large. So we can apply to any kind of situation and any kind of problem. Even in electronics manufacturing industry, if they are going to manufacture a diode, in that how many zircon is ordered or how silicon is ordered, the varying the percentage, they are going to analyze it by means of using response surface method. So that this method is able to find many applications in the world. But the researchers, those who are working in other field, if you are able to apply this concept, definitely your paper will be accepted. The chances of accepting your paper by using this method is very bright. So people, those who are working in other field like computer science, IT, and a related field, if you are going to apply this concept, definitely this will be very much useful and your publication potential can easily increases.
Sir, one more question, sir.
Yes, sir.
Is it possible to get smoother curves in Minitab software for interaction?
Minitab, when compared to Minitab, you can go for a design expert software, sir. Even trial version also available, 45 days trial version available. If you go for it, then you are able to obtain very good result. The curve nature and other things are only possible on your result. If your result is in curve nature, definitely you are able to get very good curve. But a Minitab analysis, it's okay. But the presentation and other thing, you can go for Statis.
So contour graphs we can get through Minitab.
Contour graph you are able to get, 3D response you are able to get, interaction graph you are able to get, main effect graphics you are able to get. Everything you are able to get it from this design expert software. That is called Statis.
Sir, categorical factors how to use, sir?
Huh?
Categorical factors, sir, in design expert. Categorical factors.
Any number of factor.
No, categorical factors, how to use, sir?
Categorical factor. Categorical factor also possible.
Any paper is there, sir? Or any videos?
Categorical factor means separate categorical factor, I am not sure. But the combination of numerical and categorical can be possible.
Sir, that I have tried, sir, but it is not coming, sir, numerical and categorical.
Numerical and categorical, exactly possible. one method also there based on the numerical and the categorical. Even you send me a mail, I will send you a paper for that.
Sir, your mail ID, please, sir.
palanikumar@sairamit.edu.in.
Where you are written in the chat box, sir?
Yes. I will put. Definitely possible.
Yes, sir. Okay, sir. Okay. I'll put on mail, sir.
Okay. Okay. If you have any questions, please you send it me through my mail ID. We are ready to help you. Even if you are sending the variables and output, even we will make a model and send it to you through email. So even joint publications also possible, especially in materials manufacturing and artificial intelligence and data science. We are working on artificial intelligence and data science also. We have formed a group on materials manufacturing and AI and data science. If anybody is interested, then please you contact us so that you will be inducted into that group. So here there is no money motive, only we are willing to help you. And nowadays we are organizing many conferences and we are having the publications, joint publications and other things. So that we are always willing to help our people. Please contact. Thank you very much for the opportunity, especially the coordinator, Dr. Anjaya Madrapu, and other principal of the college, Guru Nanak institutions, and head of the department, and all other. So they have given an opportunity to present my view in front of the speakers in this Atal FDP program, for which I extend my sincere thanks to them. Thanks to all the participants. You have listened to my lectures very positively, for which I express my sincere thanks. Thank you, Anatal. Thank you very much.